All right, guys, so we are continuing from where we left off. We said that this one was taken from Romans 5 verse 12. It says, therefore, just as sin entered the world through one man, and death through sin, and in this way death came to all people because all sinned. You understand? So we all died, and we understand that. Now we shouldn't be offended. But guys, I did not make myself like this. Guys, in fact, I don't know if here on earth there is someone who's stubborn like me. Oh, guys, I'm telling you, I used to think Paul was stubborn. Guys, I'm worse than Paul. Believe that. Guys, I'm worse than Paul, But did I make myself like that? No, I found myself in this body. Guys, there are many things that I don't like about myself, but I did not make myself like this. Guys, there were things that I took from, in fact, from my parents. Probably that, well, they call it genes or DNA, and the fact that things happen in Genesis 3, we partook of Satan's nature. Guys, I love psychiatrists. I love therapists, these people who studied human behavior. In fact, if I wasn't, into doing my Lord's work, I'm telling you, I would have, gone to that direction, because I love the study of human behavior, but what they studied, these people who study human behavior, they actually studied a dead being, guys, because we became spiritually dead and partook of Satan's nature right there in the beginning. That's why in verse 14 it says, nevertheless death reigned from the time of Adam to the time of Moses, even over those who did not sin by breaking a command, as did Adam, who is pattern of the one to come. In fact, if you go back to verse 13, it says, to be sure, sin was in the world before the law was given, but sin is not charged against anyone's account where there is no law. I always tell you that Jesus judges based on knowledge. So where there is no law, sin is not taken into account, because when there is no law, you don't know you are sinning. You understand? So Paul is explaining the fact that death reigned from the time of Adam because of what he did. You understand? So also in the time of Moses, even those who did not break any law, they were sinners because of what Adam had done, so we all became, sinners. That's why he says, as did Adam, who is pattern of the one to come. So we became like Adam. You understand? We became sinners. So we are, guys, you shouldn't be offended, by what you are. You simply have to accept, this thing about yourself. And then if you are clever enough, do something about it. Do something about it. You understand? Because I'm not going to be offended by something that I didn't make myself. Guys, I didn't make myself like this. There are so many things I hate about myself, but I can't change them. I can't change them. So I was speaking about the fact that you look at psychiatrists and therapists, they've studied human behavior, and I like what they do, but they studied a dead being. To them, it's nature. To Jesus, it's nonsense. You understand? Because Jesus is coming here and is preaching. That's why, guys, Jesus' word is hard for us, and many people refute it, reject it, because Jesus is telling us to not do things that are in line with our nature. It's because Jesus knows that this nature took after Satan, after Adam died spiritually. So we have the nature of Satan, whether you like it or not. That's why the world is like this. You understand? So Jesus is fighting against that, because he wants us to fight this nature. That's why I always tell you that your worst enemy is yourself, is your flesh. Why? Because Jesus already gave us the blood, because he was dealing with the inside part, but the outside part is my working. I need to do something about it by learning Jesus's teachings and then control the flesh. You understand? So the psychiatrist, the therapist, they study the human behavior, and they will tell you this and that, and they are right. It's just that they studied Satanism in us. You understand? And to them, this Satanism is nature. And because most of them don't believe in the word, they think that, well, this nature is what we are. It's actually wrong. It's a wrong nature. Guys, I'm wrong. It's not even funny. I'm so wrong, guys. It's not even funny. But ain't nothing I can do about it. Guys, ain't nothing I can do about it. You understand? I simply have to fight this. I can't change my nature, but I can change, my influence. Guys, in fact, if I realize that a person is doing, things that are influencing me in a wrong way, I run away. Am I running away from people because they are wrong? No, I'm running away from myself in people because I'm cut from the same breed, guys. Guys, I don't know, guys, if you get this. I don't know if you get this, So with influence, you can change that. That's why when you see your child is behaving in a certain way and you're like, oh, well, I'm going to take him from this place to another place. And when you take them there, they become the same. That should tell you were actually removing nature from nature. You can't remove nature from nature. You can rebuke it. Sometimes I usually watch these realistic shows, especially the crime one, that Discovery Channel, I watch it, and I look at it and I see, people, saying that I actually saw this thing in my child. I actually saw this, but I brushed it off because I thought it was going to change. It wasn't going to change if it was nature, because your child was showing you, your child was telling you that I'm actually like this. And your child is empty-minded. They don't know what's right from wrong. So they are gravitating towards who they are. They are showing you that they are like this. That's why Solomon says you will know a child behavior because of their conduct, because they don't know what they are doing, so everything to them is right. So children can't even pretend. Why? Because they are revealing who they are. You understand? So if you are a parent, study a child. Don't look at him as if like it's his fault. It's not his fault. He found himself like this. She found herself like this. You understand? She did not make herself like this, especially if it's nature. She didn't make herself like this. But if you are clever enough, you will find ways, of dealing with nature. Because guys, it's difficult to deal with nature. Most of the time, guys, I love my Lord's teachings. He wants us to be patient, because patience, guys, is a fruit of the spirit, and Jesus wants that from us. In fact, Jesus doesn't have a problem with our personalities, but he has a problem with our characters. Why? Because he wants a certain character from us, which is the fruit of the spirit. That's what he wants from us, because we can't get the fruit of the spirit from ourselves on our own. We can only get that through him, by being in him. That's what he says when you speak about the vine and you guys, you know what I'm talking about. If you go to the Gospel of John 15, he's speaking about the fact that, these fruits we can't get unless we are in him. You understand? Because he is the vine and we are the branches, So he actually wants us to change the character, not the personality. Why? The personality, guys, is the how. The character is the what. In fact, guys, I love the study of people's character. I really love it, because when you understand people's character, in fact, when I start getting to know a person, I study their character, not to judge them. Guys, I'm not in the habit of judging people, because I also need to change, you know what I mean? But I study people's character because I need to know where my boundaries, end. You understand? Because I need to respect yourself. I need to respect your nature. You understand? So when I study who you are, I'm able to know when to stop, because once you know a person, guys, very well, you know when you're going to, when you are going to frustrate them, if you're going to anger them. So the people who are closer to us are able to anger us and do it on purpose. Why? Because they know us. They don't understand the purpose of understanding people's character, or the purpose of studying people's character. The purpose of studying people's character is so that you will not cross their boundaries, so that you will respect who they are. You understand? Right or wrong, you respect who they are. You understand? So with me, I study people's character. In fact, when I came to my Lord and came to understand his teachings, and came to understand our nature, we human beings, I really became fascinated with the study of human behavior. But I don't study the dead nature like the psychiatrist and the therapist. It's like scientists. Scientists, they come back with findings, and their findings, guys, as I've always said, that their findings are 100% right, more or less the same, but 100% right. It's just that they are founded in deadness. You understand? Meaning what they study is deadness. After Genesis 3, a lot of things happened. Satan took over as the god of this world. The world became, the world, was made to suit him. After that, Adam became spiritually dead. His flesh died. The world was frustrated. You understand? It changed, you understand, to suit the kingdom of darkness. That's why nothing here on earth pleases that man upstairs. Our flesh, our knowledge, nothing pleases him. That's why when you start dealing with him, you start hating yourself, because you are realizing, damn, he is not happy at all about anything, about anyone. You understand? So the scientists, they studied the world. They keep on studying the dead world. They are not realizing that they are busy studying the wrong thing. You understand? Well, it's their prerogative. So it's the same thing with the psychiatrist and the therapist. They have, they've studied the human behavior, but they study the dead nature, the satanic nature. You understand? So Jesus is fighting against that. You understand? He's fighting against that dead nature. And I've come to accept what my Lord is saying, because, guys, I deal a lot with the spirit realm, and I see a lot in the spirit realm. So I know what Jesus is talking about. When Jesus speaks of the fact that you are spiritually dead, I know what he's talking about, because I can see a dead soul. I know of a dead soul. You understand? It's just one of my gifts. You understand? I can see in the spirit realm, so I know what my Lord is talking about. That's why, for me, salvation is the best thing that has ever happened to me. And if there's one thing I don't regret in life, is getting saved, and then after that, sacrificing my life to obey that man. You understand? Because in order to obey him, you need to sacrifice a lot of things, and I don't regret that. You understand? I make poor decisions here on earth because of knowing what Jesus is talking about. It's one thing to hear of it, it's another to know about it. You understand? So because of that, I understand where he comes from. So I accept the things he says about us, and I stop. Once I know the truth, guys, I stop. I don't continue, because once I know the truth, I know that, well, my Lord is telling the truth. So when I read the word, I read it and I look at what it says about me, and then I stop those things, because I'm not offended by the things it says about me, because everything about me is wrong. That's why I don't have respect for human beings, guys. I really, really don't have respect for. There's no one here on earth I've got respect for. No one. Why? Everyone has died spiritually. You understand? We were born spiritually dead in Adam. And the worst part is that even those who carried Bibles and open churches, they've changed the word. That's causing people to die again. You understand? So I've got no respect for human beings. I will respect you because I have to respect you, not because you deserve it. Nobody deserves it. Only my Lord deserves it, because he was the only one who was able to deal with the flesh, because he was spiritually alive. So he dealt with the flesh. So he gave us that blood so that we can also, after he dealt with our inside, which is the spirit, we can now take his teachings and deal with the flesh. So don't be offended. That's what I'm talking about. Don't be offended with my messages. Don't be offended when you read the word. Take it exactly as it is, because you did not make yourself like this. Guys, I didn't make myself like this. There are so many things I hate about myself, and those I can change, I can, but those I can't. You understand? But at the end of the day, Jesus wants us to deal with the character, you understand? Because he wants us to have the fruit of the Spirit, you understand? But he doesn't want to change the personality. We were born like that, we're going to die like that, you understand? While you can make it better, but you can't change that, because the personality, guys, is the how you do things. You can't change that. But the what is the character, and Jesus wants to change that. You understand? So we need to understand, guys, that there's no need to be offended. When a person tells you this is wrong, don't be offended. Criticism, guys, is not meant to offend you, but to help you make better decisions, do better. You understand? So don't be offended. You did not make yourself like this. You found yourself like this. Do something about it. You understand? Because if you don't do something about it, you're going to lose Jesus. You're going to forfeit your soul, and you're going to go to hell. Believe it or not, hell exists. You understand? So you need to not be offended, but do something about it, because you did not make yourself like this. You were a seed, and this seed grow. You understand? Until, so now, because you've got knowledge, change it. You understand? Not the nature, but you guys, I don't know if you understand. You can do that. You've got the power to do that. Don't be offended. Just do something about it. Thank you.